hear what she has to say and what she has to teach us tonight. So thank you for joining us. And if any of you did not get the worksheet or the handout that goes along, use the chat and let us know, and we will send that your way. I didn't do a comparison from the PowerPoint to the worksheet, so I'm not sure if they're identical or what parts are there, but it's just a great space to jot. And then if you got questions along the way, use the chat. Does everybody know how to get to the chat and where it is? We've been doing this for a few weeks, so I know Jolene had a hard time finding it. So Jolene, you're on your iPad, right?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
can you, at the very bottom, it doesn't, like mine says participants, chat, record, and reactions. Can anybody guide Jolene to finding the chat from an iPad?
I am not an iPad user either.
Jolene,
Let's so when it comes up, it shows in the middle. I can't see anybody when I do chat.
When you
It's like,
right.
Is that how it's supposed to be?
Yes, and once you enter your message, then it'll go away.
Okay.
Then you
Then
just
I know
hit
how to
right,
get there.
and then it goes
do
away.
a test run. Put your name in there and then hit enter and make sure that it goes away and it's out of your way so you can view everything.
Okay.
So,
All righty. Thanks.
looks like Shonda's joining us too. This is super exciting. All right.
Yeah.
Bobby, did you give Glenda permissions to share the screen? Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Yes.
You're up.
Well, I just wanted to welcome everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. And Bobby, that Yarrow Palm Stem is pretty good. I've been using it for about 6 weeks on my face. I just put a drop of it in my moisturizer, the Barrage moisturizer, man, and it's made an amazing difference. But the thing I really like is the body serum. Somebody posted a while back about putting it on their cracked heels. And in the wintertime, my feet get awful. You know, the backs of my heels get cracked. They feel like sandpaper and the skin just kind of like flakes off. And so I've been using that every day on my feet, put my socks on, and it's amazing. My skin is like smooth. Yeah. Yeah. The only bad thing is that bottle kind of leaks a little bit, you know, when you pump it, but man, that stuff is super. I haven't tried the capsules, but yeah, they are really good.
The serum is intended from the neck down. The Yarrow with the dropper that Bobby put some drops under her tongue. By the way, it's great for your metabolism. That's probably why she put it under her tongue.
Really?
Yeah.
Go.
But that one can be used on your face, obviously taken internally, and then the capsules, obviously, you take them.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you for that little additional educational point, Bobby. But I want to say welcome. Thank you for joining us for week 5 of our continuing education and wellness series. As Julie mentioned, my name is Glenda Wood, and I have been a doTERRA advocate since December of 2014. Can you believe that, Julie?
I know that's
over 6 years. Yeah.
Over 2013. So. Yeah.
So I primarily started using the oils because I was having some medical issues, digestive issues that traditional medications and medical interventions couldn't fix. I did eventually end up having my gallbladder out, but it was through using some of the oils that I really started to gain my life back. Those health issues really were impacting my life. I couldn't go to my job and different things like that. And then I had been using the oils about 6 months when my father passed away. And then that's where I really became curious and interested about the emotional effects of the oils, because my father's passing brought up a lot of buried emotions that I had to work through. And as I had started using the oils consistently to help with my physical conditions, I also started noticing that there were some of the oils that really were helping support me emotionally as well. I started feeling less stressed. I was sleeping better. You know, different things started happening. So I became curious, started learning more about them, and then started intentionally using the oils to help support my emotional well-being. So I'm excited you're here to join me today. Bobby has given me permission here, so I'm going to start sharing my screen. I would ask you all, if you haven't yet, mute yourself while we're going through this presentation. It just kind of helps with feedback. things like that. As Julie and Bobby mentioned, there is a chat feature. If you have questions, pop them in there and Julie and Bobby will help answer them. And then as we get towards the end with the presentation, we'll stop and do some questions as well. So without further ado, let me find the slides
Don't forget to share your screen. Oh, there you go.
and then put it in present. And so we're going to start today. We're going to talk a little bit about and this last year, and we can probably all agree that this last year has been very stressful. You know, normal routines have kind of gone out the window. We've changed our normal ways of doing things, whether we're going to work every day, whether we're working remotely. Are we still interacting with people? Is it mostly on Zoom? You know, all kinds of things are changing.
Glenda,
Maybe
can I interrupt 1 second? Because I've got a gal trying to get on and she really needs to be here.
yeah.
If anybody can help me, did all of you have to type in the 1234 passcode? She's saying it's not working. Okay. So,
I
okay.
typed and it worked, Bobby.
Say that again.
I typed the 1234 passcode and it worked.
And it worked.
Have her double check your Zoom room number to make sure she didn't transpose two numbers.
Okay. Okay. Well, it is being recorded. So go ahead, Glenda, and she can catch up. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry I interrupted.
Who pushed the record button? Am I supposed to do that or did you guys do that? You did? Okay, good. So like I said, we can all agree this year's been pretty stressful. Now at the top of this slide, there's 3 simple questions we're going to ask you to think about, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. And so I just want you to take a moment and rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10, you know, or 0 to 10. 0 is not at all. 10 is, this is a big problem. So the first question is, how often are you aware of being stressed in your daily life? You know, just jot a number down. And so if you would rate yourself as a 10 in this area, that might indicate that you need some change. If it's a 0, I'd really like to talk to you because I haven't quite achieved 0 stress yet. But there are some things that we can do that will help us from being less stressed. Pay attention to the ways that you are stressed daily in your life. Take note. And then later in the day, when you have some time to contemplate it, maybe think about some of those ways that stress is being introduced into your daily life. And then you can be intentional about addressing those later. Did you know that getting sleep is probably the biggest thing that you can do to help solve some of the chronic stress in your life? So if you think about the second question, how concerned are you about the quality and quantity of your sleep? How would you rate yourself on that from 0 to 10? I want to share a little story. You know, I thought I was a pretty good sleeper. I'd found some things that were really working well. And this Christmas, my oldest daughter got me a Fitbit, one of those fitness trackers. And so I've been playing around with it, finding it very helpful for tracking my steps. But one thing that's really been helpful with this Fitbit tracker is that I've learned I need to be in bed, physically in bed, for at least 8 hours to get a good 7 hours of sleep. Because my Fitbit tracker has shown me I wake up several times a night. You know, I kind of already knew that because I get up and I use the restroom. But it was also showing me there's times where I'm restless at night. And so I've started trying to plan a bit more about how many hours I can spend in bed. Just one thing to think about. And then the last question, how frequently do your emotions feel difficult to manage appropriately? And so as you think about that, appropriately would be the key word here, right? Because we all have emotions every day. It's natural to feel a wide range of emotions. But think about it. Are there times during the day when you may get angry or frustrated, you know, outside of maybe some of the normal stressors, like the end of the day when you're hungry, or middle of the afternoon when you're a little tired and you need to get up and walk around a little bit? So what these 3 questions are really meant to do is just to make you think intentionally about when some of these things are happening, and then how maybe you could look at things to address them. Okay, now, here we go. Sorry. Next slide. There we go. I was trying to figure out how to switch the slides. So on this slide, this is a very helpful graphic to look at. This is called the mood matrix. And this does vary a little bit from the handout that you were able to download. The handout that you downloaded, if you notice, if you look in the matrix, it's on the back side of the sheet. It has these 4 quadrants. Then it also shows the oil adaptive right on top, right in the middle of that crossbow. It's showing the 4 quadrants, which is really important as we get down there. We're talking a little bit more about adaptive. But that's the one change. It's a little bit different from this slide to your sheet. Oops, sorry, gotta be careful while I'm scrolling. And so as we talk about this visual, this mood matrix, I want you to look at it and pay attention to the words that are at the ends of the arrows, right? On the left side, they're kind of talking about, you know, this is an area where maybe you're not feeling very peaceful, or you're fatigued and you're stressed. On the other side, it's calling attention to feelings of not feeling passionate, not feeling alive, not being excited about different things that are happening in your life. And so each one of these quadrants, you know, on the outside, the words are listing kind of the negative emotion. And on the inside, where it's showing those oil blends, it's listing some of the positive emotions that these oil blends could help with. And so since this is an education class, I want to walk you through a little bit of how each one of these oils can help us address our emotions. And so on the matrix, on the left side, as I mentioned, it talks about not feeling peaceful. And then it shows the oils of serenity and balance. And those are 2 oils that can help calm and ground us. Specifically, serenity is a wonderful support when you're feeling agitated, anxious, maybe a bit disconnected, stressed, or restless. This oil can help support those who struggle with an overactive mind and an inability to unwind. Serenity helps assist in quieting that mind, releasing some of the agitation and inviting calm, as well as reminding us others often live in these same cycles that we find ourselves in. And so it encourages us to be compassionate and to be accepting of some of those cycles that others get trapped in. Because many times we pick up on other people's emotions. And so I just want you to be aware of that. And sometimes just having a little compassion for other people can also help calm your mood as well. And so using serenity can bring a sense of tranquility that allows space for personal reflection, for peace and healing. I like to diffuse this oil, or topically, I apply it to the temples, the tops of my shoulders, maybe the back of the neck, and often on the inside of my wrist creases. You know, oftentimes if I'm stressed and I just have a little bit of that oil right there, you just bring your wrist right to your nose, get a little whiff of it. You can also mix this oil, maybe 10 to 20 drops in a small spray bottle. I mix it with a little distilled water, and then I spritz it on my pillow as well. And that also helps calm as I'm trying to sleep. And balance, which is also on this side of help grounding us, calming us. Balance is an oil I could not live without. When I first started using doTERRA, these 4 oils were the primary ones they had for emotional support. And balance was my go-to oil. It's a combination of tree oils and roots, which are my favorite oils. I'm really drawn to the tree oils. And when you think about it, trees live in the present moment. They're stable, they have a calm energy about them. And so when I'm feeling scattered and unstable, balance helps support me, helps settle me down, and helps reconnect me to my roots. It also seems to provide me with some perseverance to help stay present, to stay grounded, and stay committed to my inner strength. I used to put this oil on the bottoms of my feet every day. And now what I really like is that doTERRA has the Balance bath bars. And so I use those every day when I take a shower. And it's like just dousing my whole body in balance. And it just kind of sets the mood every day when I do that. When Adaptive was released, I started using that one as well, just kind of to help support along with the balance. And now, just kind of depending on what I might have coming that day, I'll choose one or the other to use. But Balance is a great oil for settling down overactive minds. It works great for settling down overactive children. When those kids come home from school, put some Balance in the diffuser and it will help calm them down. It's another one that's great to diffuse. Topically, you could apply it to the bottoms of your feet, the base of your spine. I know Julie used to put Balance and Citrus Bliss in her lotion every day as she would apply that as well. So on the right side of this matrix, they're talking more about some of those negative emotions of, not feeling passionate, low life, not feeling stimulated by things. And so on the other side, we have two great oils, Citrus Bliss and Elevation. Do you ever feel insecure, maybe a little bit unmotivated or discouraged? Citrus Bliss is a powerful oil for that. It returns motivation and drive when it's lacking. This oil is splendid at addressing lethargy, lack of energy, discouragement, despondency. When the soul has lost its connection to the magic in life, Citrus Bliss can be that spark that provides the light. And another beautiful benefit I like to use Citrus Bliss for is to inspire creativity. Anytime I'm trying to solve some problems, I'm trying to find some creative solutions to doing different things, I will put Citrus Bliss, Balance, and then also Passion, which is another one of our emotion oils in doTERRA, in the diffuser. And that is awesome for sparking some creativity, giving me a little more drive to complete some projects if I don't want to get them done right away. But it's really just a yummy diffuser blend and helps boost some of that creativity. Topically, you could also apply this like on the inside of the wrist, over the solar plexus, which is like in the upper stomach area.
I was sharing that earlier, Glenda. And what are those ice cream bars they're vanilla on the inside and orange on the outside?
Oh, Orange Cream, Orange Dream.
That's what that Citrus Bliss.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that's what it
Yeah.
smells like. It's got that just that hint of vanilla in it with all those citrus oils. And citrus oils are wonderful for boosting creativity, and just so uplifting and energizing. And Citrus Bliss is a wonderful combination of all of those. And then the other oil that's really on the uplifting side, Elevation, still one of my all-time favorite oils. This one is formulated to overcome feelings of despair and hopelessness. I call it sunshine in a bottle. I mean, seriously, it is so uplifting. This blend combines powerful mood stabilizing oils that, help us feel happy, secure, and comforted. It also brings some of those warm vibration, higher vibrations on your energy levels, and sometimes we can get caught up in low energy vibrations that come with negative thoughts or, some of that thinking that brings us down. And so Elevation really helps raise up those energy levels, can bring inspiring feelings of brightness, courage, relaxation. I use it a lot to help with worry. When I'm worried about a situation, Elevation helps me remember that worry is not productive. It doesn't help me accomplish anything. And so Elevation helps me just find some of that joy and abundance in life. And especially after the last 6 months or so, I find myself starting my day oftentimes with Elevation in my diffuser right away. You can also topically apply this one, like across the forehead, behind the ears, and then also maybe over the heart space as well. As I mentioned earlier, on your download sheet, adaptive is popped right in the center of this matrix over all 4 quadrants. And adaptive is really awesome in helping with anxious states. It can really help in all 4 areas of this emotional matrix. It helps impart reassurance and calm, especially when you're kind of stuck in those cycles of constriction, tension, worry, and some uneasiness. Maybe you've experienced some prolonged stress or some traumatic experiences, and the mind and body kind of respond by becoming hypervigilant. You're always on the lookout for the next bad thing that's going to happen. And that's not a good state for your well-being. And so adaptive is really one of those oils that can help you adapt to stressors. Maybe it can help you see some of your fears in a more clear or constructive manner and help bring some of that confidence and reassurance to know that you can handle the things that life and reality throw at you. I really love to diffuse adaptive with green mandarin. It just adds another little extra bit of citrus to it. I have a 2.5-year-old grandson who spends most weekends here at our house. And as you can imagine, that toddler energy gets a little crazy once in a while. And so oftentimes I have adaptive and green mandarin running in diffusers in a couple of rooms of the house. And it just kind of seems to help calm him down, stabilize him a little bit. And also gives me the flexibility to kind of respond and react to his emotions of the day. And again, diffusing this one is great. We're going to talk a little bit more further down about the entire kind of adaptive system that doTERRA has right now as well. But one thing I want to encourage you is feel free to be adventurous and kind of experiment. Don't be afraid of putting 2 or 3 different oils in your diffuser. If you feel drawn to these oils, your body instinctively knows what it's looking for. And sometimes you might reach for an oil and think, well, why did I grab that? Blend it with maybe a couple of your other favorite oils, and you might find it supporting you in ways that you really didn't know that you needed the support for. But sometimes you're going to find a blend that works really good for you, but maybe it doesn't work for Bobby. That's the blessing of these essential oils, is the ability to personalize our ability to take care of our own well-being with these incredible oils in a way that satisfies us, because we're all individual. We're all unique individuals. And unlike conventional medicine, where if you fit in the average of these 20 people that have this condition and respond this way to a medication, your oils allow you to be individual and select the things that work for you and support you in the best ways that they can. Okay. So I would just encourage you to keep this visual that was on the back of the handout handy. Sometimes it's helpful in just trying to identify maybe some of the emotions that you're feeling, and then you could look to one of these 5 oils to help support you. Next slide. Okay, and so we talked a little bit, oops, no. Sorry, my learning here. And so we talked a little bit about the adaptive collection, and this was released, I believe, in 2019 at the convention. And this has been a game changer for so many of us with our stress and our emotions, helping us being able to, get a hold of what's going on in our body. It's really a helpful oil for handling anxiety and depression as well. Like I mentioned before, I use this adaptive roller on my feet many times during the day. I carry the roller in my purse because it's so convenient to apply it again as I may need to during the day.
I want to share a testimony, Glenda.
Yeah.
So I had a young man in my store one day meeting with a CPA, and he goes, "Do you care if I stand up to her?" Because he was so anxious, whether or not he was in my store or meeting with the accountant, I don't know. But my desk was right under my oil counter. Oils were everywhere. And at some point after he stood up, he roamed up to the front counter and said, "Do you have anything for anxiousness? I just can't stand this." And I said, "Give me your hands." And I put adaptive on his wrists. I said, "Now breathe it." He said, "Okay." And I made him a little roller. I said, "Put this in your pocket and use it every hour." He went back. After a few minutes, he sat down, met with the accountant. 20 minutes later came up to the front counter, "That really worked." And he took home a family essential kit.
Wow.
It can work that quickly.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, that's why aromatherapy is so powerful. You know, just the matter of inhaling that scent can cause emotions and reactions in our brain and completely change our thought processes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the adaptive collection is 3 items, and all right, come on, I can get my slides to change. There we go. And so we're going to talk first a little bit about the adaptive supplements. And this isn't the essential oil blend that they just put in the capsules, you know, like we sometimes do when we put some of our oils in our those capsules and swallow them. The calming blend capsules are a completely different formulation than the oil, but they're meant to be complementary. And so I have found these capsules amazing in helping support my mood, support some of the anxious feelings that I have day to day. I did find when I first started taking it, because that's one of the beauties about adaptive, is that you could take it in the morning or the evening. And as we talk a little bit more about supporting your sleep habits, we'll talk a little more about that. But I found if I took it at night, it was affecting my dreams. It was keeping me awake. And so I switched to taking it in the morning. And it's been great in just allowing me to feel calm and relaxed as the day goes on. I know other people take them in the evening. So it's really just about finding that mix that works for you. And so one of the great things about this adaptive blend is, you know, and Bobby, you'll have to correct me. Do we call it GABA or do we call it GABA? GABA. And
I
so
think GABA.
Is it GABA? Yeah. So, but this helps to helps work in our gut to help support our brain. It's a quieting neurotransmitter, and it also helps promote relaxation. It has a natural comforting effect, helps reduce feelings of apprehension and fear by decreasing the neuron excitabilities in our brains. Sometimes it's called the brakes of the brain because it lowers the activities of the neural cells in the brain and central nervous system. And it has the effect of moving the brain and the body into a lower gear. And it really helps reduce mental and physical strain. And I can attest to that. The days that I forget to take my pills in the morning, my supplements, I can sure tell by about lunchtime whether or not I have taken that or not. It just makes an incredible difference. But like I said, the beautiful thing about it is you can take it in the morning, you can take it at night. You just kind of need to know your body and know how you respond to some of the different supplements and the different things you're using to help with the stress and emotions. But adaptive is a daily supplement that you can take. And some people don't take it every day. I have found for me, it's most helpful if I take it every day, just along with all my other supplements. The next slide talks a little bit about the oil itself, which helps boost mood. I find it very effective when I'm trying to study or learn something new. Helps me remember things, reduces those feelings of anxiousness and tension. Again, I talked a little bit before about how I like to diffuse it with green mandarin, just adds a little bit to it. But adaptive has been found to contribute to an environment of conducive to performing tasks requiring sustained attention. And that's because of some of those ingredients that are in it. You know, lavender is good for attention. It also includes magnolia, neroli, and sweet gum, which help provide those stress relieving effects. It has wild orange and spearmint, which are very energizing and uplifting. Cobaiba and rosemary soothe some of those anxious feelings as well. So whether you're feeling fatigued or restless, indecisive or irritable, adaptive calming blend is really one of those tools in your toolbox that can help you kind of ease some of that tension in your body, help your mind stay balanced. And it's really meant to use, as I said, the supplements along with the oil as well. That roller bottle, definitely a convenient way to apply as needed through the day. Oftentimes I put it on my wrist. Actually, I go like from wrist to elbow on the inner forearms. And then I also will put it across my forehead. All right. The next slide here includes some diffuser blends. We've been talking a lot about diffusing different things. Several of these blends that were included here have adaptive, they have balance, they have several of our emotion support blends in them. And then they also have some of the newer ones from the emotional aromatherapy kit, Forgive, Peace. Those are some of the other ones that you can find in that kit as well. But one thing I would just encourage you, get kind of crazy about diffusing. You know, diffusing is the #1 way that you can get the oils into your system, into the system of people around you. You know, it can affect other people in your household, in your work office. You know, many times emotions carry. If your coworkers have a lot of stress and anxiety, you can end up with a lot of that stress and anxiety. So if you're in an environment that is supportive and will allow you to use a diffuser, I would encourage you to use that to help support yourself and the other people in your offices or your home as well. Another thing I like to do, and I actually learned that from Bobby, visiting her home one time. She had diffusers in several rooms of the house. And in one room, she had this diffuser blend going, and in this room, she had another one going. Don't be afraid to have a couple different diffuser blends going around your house. And sometimes even just leave the diffuser blend running when you're not in your house. Just those oils slowly diffusing during the day can help change the energy within the room. And when you come back into it, you might feel, you know, a better level of energy, more positive energy when you're in that space as well.
And a good idea is to turn your diffuser on about an hour before you retire. And that
Yeah.
way, you know, that's permeating into the room and calming you down when you put your head on that pillow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I particularly like to use the diffusers that have the 10 or 12 hour intermittent setting where it'll run for like 30, 40 seconds every 5 minutes. You know, because otherwise if it runs all the time, sometimes you get a little, what's the term, nose fatigue or smell fatigue. You might not always smell it as much. And as I'm a person that kind of wakes up often during the night, it's nice to still have, you know, the blend going to help continue to help you sleep during the night. So, but like I said before, don't be afraid to mix up different things in your diffusers. You know, Google doTERRA blends. Gosh, I think I have over 1,000 different blend images saved in my Pinterest account. It's kind of crazy because I'm sure a bunch of them are repetitive, but you don't know it unless you really look at them close. But there are all sorts of ideas out there for creating diffuser blends, and don't be afraid to make your own. You know, if you don't like the way it smells, you can certainly dump it out and start over. So, but another thing I like to do is, especially if you feel like you can't get into the habit of using your diffuser often, once you've been using your oils for a while and you have a couple of empty bottles, take the label off that bottle, use a little bit of lemon oil to take all that gunky stuff off from the label. And then I'll fill those empty bottles with some of my favorite blends that I've made. You know, just 2 or 3 different blends. Put your stickers on your bottle so you know what they are, because many times I've made many blends and then can't remember what they are later. But that way you can keep those half-filled bottles next to where your diffusers are. You know, in my house here, I have one common place where I have all my oils, but I have 6 different diffusers around the house. You know, so sometimes, you know, they're in my bedroom. I have a couple of those half-filled bottles of my favorite bedroom blends, you know, nighttime blends. In my office, I have a couple of the different ones that I like to use for focus or for clarity, different things like that. out in the kitchen and living room, I have ones that are more uplifting or refreshing kind of blends as well. So just a habit, a trick that I've kind of learned, and makes it a little bit easier to use my diffuser more often. And so we'll talk a little bit more about some of those sleep habits. You know, I don't know about you, but I'm one of those people that can struggle to turn off my brain at night. You know, things just kind of roll around in there. And especially if I wake up at night, you know, without my diffuser blends going, sometimes it's a little difficult for me to get back to sleep. And so one thing I really found that helped a lot was determining a schedule and sticking to that schedule. You know what type of person that you are and how much sleep that you need to thrive, not just to function. You know, some people say, oh, I can function on 6 hours of sleep, but do you really need 7 or 8 hours of sleep to thrive? You know, getting adequate quality sleep is the number one thing that we can do to improve our health. It affects every other thing in your body. Even if you're, you know, eating healthy food, you're exercising every day like you should, if you are not getting the amount of sleep that your body needs, it's not going to be as effective in helping you lose weight. It's not going to be as effective in helping you reduce stress. So know the kind of person that you are. You know, like I'm a morning person. And so I know that about myself. And I know if I'm going to get up about 5 o'clock in the morning, that I got to go to bed about 9 o'clock at night. I used to try to push that until 10 or 11, right? Because, oh, I only need 7 hours. So if I'm only in bed for 7 hours, I'm getting my sleep, right? Well, that's what I thought until I had my fitness tracker. And that was showing me that even if I was staying in bed for 7 hours, I was only getting like 5.5 hours of sleep. So I was tired. I was irritable. I was cranky. When I pushed my schedule back a little bit to allow for going to bed earlier, so I was consistently getting that 7 hours of sleep, it's made a huge difference in my ability to handle my emotions and the stressors that I encounter every day. If you're not a morning person, if you're a night owl, that's great. But can you adjust your schedule to accommodate for sleeping as many hours as you need for your body to thrive and to just not function? That's one thing I want you to think about. And it's not just the schedule. You know, eating healthy is a huge part of it as well, isn't it? You know, we've all probably struggled at one time or another, you know, with our eating habits, what we're eating, whether it's processed foods or extra sugar. For me, it was eating late at night. And through some of my health challenges and also studying, I learned that the majority of things that we eat after 6 or 7 o'clock at night don't get digested. They just sit in your stomach all night until those digestive fires start burning again in the morning. It was affecting my ability to sleep. And so I had to adjust my eating to try to have my last meal before 6 o'clock at night. Again, that's another thing that's made a huge difference in me being able to sleep, fall asleep easier, and stay asleep longer. If you're a person that suffers from acid reflux, that would be really something I would suggest that you look into, because more people that have acid reflux, if you eat later at night, all you're doing is setting yourself up for that acid to be regurgitated in the evening when you lay down. Watching what we eat, exercising daily, even if it's just walking. You know, if you're in an office job most of the day and you sit, find ways each hour to get up and move. You know, 5 or 10 minutes can make a huge difference. Consistently walking or exercising daily will have a huge impact on your sleep as well, because your body's looking for some of those ways to release the energy as well. And exercise is one way that you can do that. And a big thing I really like about this graphic is they talk about limiting that screen time. You know, we don't think about how often we're exposed to screens during the day, whether it's our computers, whether it's TVs, whether it's our phone. You know, how many of us are laying in bed at night watching shows late at night, or maybe looking at social media on our phone as we're laying there trying to get to sleep, and then we're wondering why we can't sleep. Physically, it's hard on us because the color of the light, that blue light, can affect your brain as well. So if you can't get away from screens later in the evening, I would suggest that you put it on the night mode. So it kind of changes that color of the screen, doesn't affect your brain as much. But I would really recommend limiting your screen time 30 minutes before you go to bed. Maybe take that time while your diffuser is running and do some journaling. Get those thoughts out of your head onto the paper. And so then you don't have to sit and stew about them all night long. So stick to a schedule, eat healthier, move your body in some form or some way, limit how much screen time you have, but find those supplements that might work for you. And I'd also suggest finding those diffuser blends that help you sleep at night. Just a few small habits, changes that you could make that could definitely increase the quality as well as the quantity of sleep that you are getting. And it would have a profound effect on every other aspect of your health and well-being. And so in that realm also, we'll talk a little bit more about a few more supplements that doTERRA has available that can help support sleep habits. The Serenity capsules are wonderful. Some folks find great success with this supplement. Experts recommend that as adults, we have 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. And unfortunately, probably about 33% of Americans don't get that sleep. 1 in 5 of us are experiencing occasional sleeplessness or difficulty sleeping, which deprives our body of the sleep that we need so that we don't have many of the health risks that can happen when our body doesn't have adequate time to rest and repair itself. So getting adequate sleep is essential to recover physically and mentally from the demands of daily life. It affects how you feel each day. There's been hundreds of different recommendations, family recipes, products, dietary supplements that all claim to help. But Serenity is one of those products that actually does work. We have a solution that now utilizes historically proven ingredients and the best of modern science. They recommend taking 1 to 2 soft gels before sleep. I know some folks who take them every night and some don't. They only take them as they feel their body needs them. They actually help calm your nervous system and help reduce that stress. And I have a couple of gals on my team who actually take them throughout the day as well. One particular friend who struggles with PTSD and some severe anxiety, she has found some success in taking Serenity and Adaptive in the afternoon. And then as she gets closer to her bedtime, she'll take another Serenity capsule before she goes to bed. Serenity also was in a clinical trial where they actually proved some of its effectiveness. And it was a 6-week double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trial, very scientific. And it was done to investigate the efficacy of our study regarding the soft gels, and it concluded that the individuals using the Serenity soft gels had improvements in their ability to fall asleep, and they were waking up more easily, feeling alert and refreshed. So I think right there is a very good point about showing just how effective these soft gels can be. Some other folks will use the Serenity soft gels, and part of their nightly regimen is that they combine them also with the Kabiba soft gels. I can attest to, I use those soft gels, the Kabiba ones. I deal with a lot of joint pain, some achiness, and I really did find that taking 2 of those at night rather than the Serenity soft gels helped me with my sleep a little bit more. Again, it goes back to kind of finding that combination of supplements that might help you sleep the best. Bobby mentioned the Yarrow Palm capsules. Well, another gal actually takes those as well at night to help her sleep, which kind of surprised me a bit because I thought they were just a beauty complex. But I'm learning that they have a lot more benefits to them than just helping our complexion and those kind of things. So, but if you are one that has a lot of aches and pains at night, I would really suggest trying the Kabiba soft gels as well. For me, they've really done a lot. And I see her shaking her head too. Yes, that they've done a lot to help with some of that pain. They also are really good for soothing some of those anxious feelings as well.
And just so people know, the Copaiba does come in an oil that you can ingest just from your bottle. And I had a gal use Copaiba and frankincense on her hands for some tremors, and she saw some benefit.
Really? That's interesting. I haven't heard about that. So yeah, I use it. I have arthritis in my fingers, especially my thumbs, get real knobby at the joints. But between marjoram and the Kabiba has been really good, just topically putting that on there to help with that pain.
That's good to know.
Yeah. So the other good thing about those yarrow palm capsules is that they contain melissa, which we know is that oil of light, and really good with helping to support our emotional wellness as well. And so this gal says, take your yarrow palm capsules. She likes to take one about dinner, and then she'll take another one 30 minutes before bed. I can't attest to how well that works. It's not one that I've tried, but it was one that I'd heard of and I wanted to include. And then I also wanted to mention, you've heard me talk a little bit more about the emotional aromatherapy kit that doTERRA has. This is a blend of 6 oils that was created for aromatherapy use to help support our emotions. And I use several of those oils quite often. They're sold in a great rollerball kit, so all 6 of them in a rollerball. They sell them in the kit here in the small 5 milliliter bottles, or you can also buy them individually. And so many ways to get them. I mean, I could go on and on for hours about those 6 oils as well, because they are amazing as well, but they're a whole separate essential oils class that we have done. But then also here on the left side of the slide, the Essential Emotions book. I have been buying these for probably the last 6 years that I've been using the oils, because they're updated annually about the time that doTERRA has their convention. And so then typically they'll include some of those new oils that are released at convention. And they have some other helpful tools. They've got a CD that talks about the 5 steps of emotional healing. That's very helpful. Just a wonderful resource. And so inside this book, it takes each oil, single oil and blend, and tells you about the emotional properties that these oils help support, both the negative emotions that you want to overcome and the positive emotions that it can help support.
Glenda, I had Julie grab her book and maybe she could read, say for instance, something in front there like passion or cheer, Julie.
Well, I've got peace open, and so I just want to read about peace. I usually try about 20 minutes before bed. I actually take my peace bottle, not the roller. These also come in a roller. You can get the whole set for I think $100 in the roller bottles, but I just take the cap off the little bottle and I go like this on my forehead and I massage that in just to help me kind of release whatever's going on in my head. And it does help me with my sleep. But peace is the oil of reassurance. I'm reading from, it looks like this picture is the 9th version. I've got the 8th version. But it says this blend was formulated to assist individuals who lack inner peace. People thrive when they feel connected to the divine. Souls achieve true and lasting peace through connection to this source. Without this true peace, there is a human tendency to try to manufacture peace by controlling one's environment and relationships. Especially when one feels afraid, it is tempting to try to control others because it gives an artificial sense of order and safety. Peace invites individuals to connect to the true source of unending peace and to let go of control and excess attachments in order to experience the incredible peace that flows from the divine. It invites individuals to trust in divine goodness and grace. Peace affirms that no amount of control or effort can fill the empty soul. It reminds individuals that only by connecting to the divine, they will cultivate lasting peace. And then it lists the ingredients that are in it. And like Glenda had mentioned, it talks about the negative emotions that we're trying to overcome. So the negative are controlling, attached, afraid, spiritually disconnected, unsafe. And then the positive properties are peaceful, serene, content, still, and spiritually connected. And the recommendation is to inhale it from the bottle or diffuse it, and then to apply it over the heart. You know, where we apply our oils on our body, that's probably another class to do, but
Yeah.
in the creases of your arm, on your pulse points, over your heart. Like if we have three brains, our gut and our heart, our head, our gut, our heart, and our gut.
Yep.
And so, you know, like let's say your emotion is making your stomach acids flow and you're feeling irky and uncomfortable and gassy and bloated, well, then apply those oils, those emotional oils over your tummy, over your gut. You know, maybe you're feeling very sad and desperate and it's a heart issue, so apply them over the heart. But yeah, these 6, I use at least one of them every single day, if not several. I've been putting forgive on my earlobes, don't know why, feel called to do it, so that's what I do, and then on my wrists before bed. So yeah.
Well, that's interesting, Julie. And so Desiree Mangadog is doTERRA Diamond, and she also focuses on the emotional aspects of the oils using traditional Chinese methods. And so she has a way of applying the oils that follows some of those meridians in your body. And I have been studying with her for about a year. It's very interesting, some of the things that she has shared from that as well. So, excuse me. But great book, great resource. I would recommend you find it, utilize it. Excuse me. I don't think I've talked this long consistently, and I don't know how long. So those are just a couple of the other tools I wanted to bring up as well that can help. Ginger drops put in my mouth here. And so just a few more things to share from this presentation as well. And so many of us utilize doTERRA's loyalty rewards program. And so I really want to encourage you to find ways to bundle some of these oils that you could use for your monthly LRP. Right here's a sample wellness kit that includes the Adaptive Collection, Wild Orange, Kabiba, and Balance. Costs roughly $145, 131 PV. If you ordered this before the 15th of the month, you would also then be eligible for the product of the month free that you would be able to get as well. So this slide is just to help you remember. Think about some of those wellness boxes that you could put together yourself for the products that you need to help support your emotional wellness. And so at this time, before we kind of talk a little bit more about sharing our oils, I just wanted to stop here and see. I can't see the chat, Julie. Has there been any questions that have come up that we need to answer? No questions anyone's had right now? So
I did not notice any questions come along through the chat. I'm just kind of scrolling back through anything in case I missed something.
Yeah, and if anybody's got any questions, you know, unmute yourself and ask away about the products or the class.
if not, we have just a few more things to kind of walk through, talking a little bit about the benefits of sharing our oils with others, and talking about just a few questions if maybe you were interested in looking at doTERRA as a way to build a business to support yourself and your family. Okay, so just by having our oils, we know the many benefits that it can bring. But the beautiful thing is that you can quickly move into sharing your oils with other people. And then before you know it, you're teaching other people about how to use the oils, right? It's kind of what happened with us, didn't it, Julie? She shared with me, and then all of a sudden I'm sharing with my friends, and your team just starts growing a little bit. And so I'm going to talk to you just shortly a little bit about the joys of sharing oils, because as you use the doTERRA products, it's really natural for you to kind of talk about the oils, share with your friends some of the beauties and benefits that you've been seeing with using some of the oils. And so if you're interested, there's really a great opportunity for bringing doTERRA into your life and using it not just to help you get your oils paid for, but maybe even to actually generate a little bit of income for you. So why doTERRA and why now? You know, we're in the middle of a global pandemic, right? And so right now might not be the most opportune time to think about building a business. But many people are looking for a little extra income right now. You know, many folks have lost their job due to COVID. You know, the need for doTERRA in homes is huge right now. We're all looking for better ways to support our physical and emotional health. You know, for a while there, it was really hard to get in to see a doctor, even if you were having a medical condition. And as I mentioned before, our oils are one of the most individualized ways we have to support our physical and emotional well-being. You know, there's a lot of stuff going around that people aren't really feeling very sure about, but that's one of the great benefits I have found with using doTERRA. It's the people right here in this Zoom call, you know, our upline, our other people who are using oils, and we're sharing what's working for us. You know, maybe what's working for Julie is something that could work for me. Well, I'm not going to know until I try. But without the benefit of knowing that these oils are even here to support me, you know, if it wasn't for Julie sharing these with me, I would still have been struggling with some of those medical conditions. I was very thankful and grateful when she gave me the ability to help some of those physical conditions. And then when I found the ways that I could support my emotional health, well, it's priceless. It's priceless, the benefits that have come just in using the oils and the relationships and the friendships that have been built just by using these oils. And so, you know, for many of us who are oilers, as we call ourselves when we've been using them consistently, you know, we become confident. You know, I've built some confidence in using these oils because I've been using them for 5 years. But maybe somebody who's new, they don't have that same confidence level. But that's something that you have the benefit of being able to share, how those oils have impacted you, how they've impacted your family, and all the positive benefits that have come from being involved with the doTERRA family. If you don't know the story about doTERRA, I would really encourage you to take a little time to learn about the company. You know, doTERRA is a direct marketing company, but it's a company like no other. And this is a company that is focused on the people that help them build that company. And it's all done from the heart. And there's not many companies that you can find that do that and build their business that way.
By the way, I just posted the Genesis video that the owners created, and I don't know how many minutes it is, but it is on the new group page that you might all be aware of, Sisters 3 Essential Oil Wellness. And so if you scroll down, their video is there, or you can find it on YouTube. doTERRA has a YouTube channel.
Yeah. I'd really encourage you to look a little more into the company. It's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're still interested in doing a business through doTERRA, I would encourage you, you know, there might be some questions that you have, you know, how do I make money? How much time is going to be involved? You know, that's kind of the biggest question that people ask, because a lot of people don't really know, you know, how do you make money with the business? How much time does it take to spend building your business? And again, that is the benefit and the beauty of your upline. Some of them have figured it out. They're willing to share. But there are many, many support systems within doTERRA to help put the tools that you need into your hands so that you can share this with friends, share this with your family, share this with people you don't even know. You know, Bobby is the number one person at doing that. Bobby does not know a stranger and will share her oils with everyone, as she just shared a story earlier. You know, but really, it's simple. It just boils down to a couple of things. It boils down to being able to talk with people and to share samples with people. And I would encourage you to basically start, you know, identify one issue, maybe offer one sample. It's very easy to overwhelm people. You know, even you as new people coming in and learning some of the educational things, it's very easy to be overwhelmed with all the information that there is out there regarding doTERRA essential oils. I would encourage you to keep in contact with your upline. They're going to be the best person who can guide you through this process. So,
And also know that if you've got somebody in severe need of an essential oil, don't feel like you have to know it all to give them a buzz and share an oil with them. Because the best way to do it, as Rod Richardson said the other day, I was listening, he's got over 1 million people on his team. And somebody called him and said, "Oh my gosh, I need la la la, my husband, la la la." And his response was, "You know what? Let's grab a book together. Let's look up the answer together." And that's how easy it is. And that's how easy it is for him. And that's why he has 1 million people on his team. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
and
there's
one of
lots
the-
of resources out there.
And one of the reasons to pull out the book is because we're not called to be the essential oil expert. We want to make sure everybody has the tools and the resources so they can be the expert in their own home. And Glenda has said several times through the evening about how this is really personalized. Each person's body responds differently. And so what might work for me might not work for this other person. So if I open the Modern Essentials book or the Essential Life book, or I go to the Body Systems page on doTERRA and I empower them on where to go for the source, and then
Yeah.
they can choose. You know, every issue has 5, 6, 7, 10 different options because our essential oils are complex, which makes them so powerful. They do so many different things. And that's why you can use wild orange for calming before bed, but you can use it for energizing during the daytime.
Yep.
How does that work? But we're used to pharmaceuticals that they've isolated a component that's for one thing. And so how cool is it that you can have melaleuca for toe fungus and acne and abrasions, all one thing? You don't have to have 15, but by utilizing that resource, you are empowering that person, which is the whole reason that you shared a solution to begin with.
Right.
So we don't have to make it difficult. We let the oils do what the oils do, which wins our hearts because they bring the results we're looking for.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. The hardest part sometimes is just picking up the phone and making the calls. So, but these are basically the 4 questions that people ask. How do I make money? How much time is involved? Could this work for me? And what is the next step? And so again, I would encourage you to reach out to your upline. There are resources and tools that will help you share with you the formulas, time constraints, and those different things that could make you successful in your business. You know, how do you make money? It's really easy. Get your samples out to people, teach your classes, enroll people, and then support them as they enroll. That is the beauty of the doTERRA system, because it's not something you go and buy off the shelf and hope that it works. Many times people are going to buy a specific oil with a recommendation that came from somebody who's used it to help address a specific concern. And that in and of itself is priceless, because how many times have you gone to your doctor and you can't even get a straight answer about a pharmaceutical that might help you, right? You know, the education and the support that comes along with being in doTERRA is what is priceless, and you won't find it anywhere else. All right, I think I have just a few more slides here. This talks briefly about some of the levels as you go through them and increase as your business grows, some of the income potential that could be there. Again, your upline can share this in much more detail with you when you get to that point. Think about how much time you want to spend involved in your doTERRA business. Maybe you only want your oils paid for. You know, that might only amount to 3 to 5 hours a week of work. If you want to supplement your income, that's going to take us another investment of time. If you want to replace your income, that's going to take a significant investment in time to do that. You know, nothing grows with very little investment in it. And so that's one way you have to think about it as well. How much time, how much energy do you want to invest in building a business? If you only, you know, want a small portion of it, you just want to get your oils paid for, that's okay. It's your business. It's how you get to do it. Again, very individualized.
Melinda, if you'd go back one screen, I just want to point out something just very quickly.
This one?
That screen right there, if you can see Elite Premier Silver, Gold, Platinum Diamond, Blue Diamond, and Presidential Diamond. So if any of you don't know about Founders Club, it's going on for all of us, and any of us can do whatever we want with Founders and be a new founder. They're giving away 200 founder spots, and only 5 spots have been received. So there's a gal, if you go to doTERRA's Facebook page, you can hear her story. In January of 2020, she was a elite, barely premier. Okay. So she had a team of less than 5,000 volume. COVID hit in March. She's young. She might be 25 years old. She is now Blue Diamond and received one of the first 5 spots as a new founders in doTERRA. That means she shared a lot of oils with a lot of people and it paid off. She's going to get a bonus check January 31st for life because she attained one of the founder spots, which is available to all of us. Go
Wow.
forward, Glenda. So you can do anything you want to do.
Yes, you can build your business as far as you want. Okay. And then basically, could this work for me? You know, number one, are you passionate about oils? Do you love people? You know, and can you follow a system to help you get things done? It's really that simple. On paper, the actual work of it takes a bit more. So, but again, be sure to connect in with your upline. They are the best resource to help you determine how far you want to build your business. And that, I believe that's an example of another one of their systems there. So
Great
definitely
job, Glenda.
yeah, 3 ways to share, you know, get your oils, enroll your friends to get extra income. And if you want to build a team to supplement or replace your income. And so basically we've come to, you know, the end of the presentation. If there are any other questions, Julie, Bobby, or I could answer for anyone, but we do want to respect your time. We've gone over here about 10 minutes. Did take us a little bit to get going. So if there's any questions, I don't want to discourage those as well. But I think I could probably stop sharing the screen there.
And for those that hopped on late, I am recording this. And so I will upload it to YouTube and share that back with you. So then you've got the ability to rewatch.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. So it was really nice meeting and talking with everyone tonight. This seems to be the new way of getting together with everyone, but that was the first time I had done it on the presenter's side. So thank you for allowing me to have that ability, Julie.
Great
That
job.
from the
You
presenter
did
side.
a fantastic job. People are saying awesome class with exclamation points and thank you so much and thank you. And so Glenda, I really appreciate that. Like I asked and you said sure, and I just really appreciated that. Sometimes my voice gets to be the one that's always heard, and it's like I need to shush and let other people step into that role. So I loved what you presented. I think we all learned some great nuggets to help support not only our emotions but sleep and how important sleep is. how important sleep is for reducing our stress. So hopefully everybody on the call learned some really powerful tools and tips and tricks that they can apply to their daily lives to bring the results that they're looking for. I'm curious, like how many people struggle or have that challenge for sleep? Like anybody like knock sleep out of the park and like, hey, it's never a problem for me? or do you discover like Glenda, like I thought I was getting 7 hours, discovered no, I'm only getting 5.
Yeah, I thought I was doing really good, but yeah. I've
Time in
come a
bed
long
versus
way.
Sleep, not quite the same thing.
I've certainly come a long way since I've been using my oils though. And the difference is just astounding, you know, from only getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep, you know, and constantly struggling and with that, getting that good solid 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep. It's amazing the difference that it's had. And so hopefully, as I return to the working world, I'm still able to continue to intentionally keep that as one of my #1 goals, getting good sleep to keep my health up. So
yeah, well, and that'll help you to be more effective in your daytime job as well.
yeah, well, and considering I'll have a 2-hour commute, you know, 1 hour each way, not being sleepy and driving will be a very good thing. So yeah. So
So,
All
and
right.
I want to just share. So, if you guys really loved the class and have somebody that you really think needs to be introduced to doTERRA, share the Sisters 3 Wellness page with them and they will be introduced to it. And invite them to class on Tuesday night because it is a quick basic 101 essential oils made easy. And that will be every Tuesday night for sure for the next 4 months so that I can give a bunch of Citrus Bliss away to new members. So just remember, continuing it on Monday, basic 101 on Tuesday, invite the people you love and the people you know that need to know about doTERRA. And thank you.
Yep.
yeah, it's great to meet everyone.
All right. And so, Bobby, what's next week's topic?
Well, Janie and I need to verify that. Janie, you're here. Can you unmute yourself? Do you leave for Colorado next week?
On Tuesday I do, so I was going to do the class Monday.
Okay, so women's hormones is next Monday. And then the following Monday is me with toxic free living. So women's hormone next Monday, toxic free the following Monday. So thanks, Janie, for that verification. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. Sounds
So
great.
everybody have a beautiful evening. Get your oils in you, on you, and around you. That's what
That's
we
right.
like to say.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Thank you,
Thanks
Rose.
again,
Good
Glenda.
night.
You did great.
Good night.